What's up, guys? Agent Sloth back with another one. Today I'm going to be tying first for you guys is the Tarpon Toad. Obviously I use it for tarpon. Works well for trout, bass. As far as I know, that's the only fish because that's really all I've caught on it. It's a very simple pattern. Got a little bit of marabou, a little bit of rabbit fur, and then yarn, and then bead chain eye. So let's get down on it. I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so like I said, got a little bit of marabou, some rabbit, some yarn, and then the bead chain eyes. This one here is tied on a size 1. You can tie them all the way up to a 1/0, which I have here for deeper water, more weight, bigger fish. Just so you can see the comparison, this is the mini toad. This would be the tarpon toad. And then just the color combos, you can kind of just do whatever really for different watercolors or different attractions that you're trying to go after. So let's throw a size 1 in the vise and get one tied up. The type of hook that I'm using is a Oshagni. I'll never be able to pronounce that correctly, ever. Alright, so just toss that in the vise, crank her down. Going to be using some yellow thread, dubbing loop tool, whip finisher, and then some Velcro for the yarn. That way you can pick it out a lot easier. So, first material, besides getting the thread on the hook, is going to be that marabou. Me, I like to stop just before the bend of the hook. Put a nice little bed there. And I stop just before the bend of the hook because I don't want that marabou to really push down a lot or be pushed down in that bend and kind of follow that. I want it to be more protruding out and fluff out rather than be like down and fluffed. I don't know if it really helps, but in my mind it does. So pick yourself a nice little piece of marabou. Try to go about 1.5 times the length of the hook. Cinch it in. Go back to that final point just before the bend. Get her cinched in good. And then come up in front of that. And then snip that off at an angle. Cover up your tag ends. All that stuff. Doesn't have to be super pretty. Next is going to be the dubbing loop for that rabbit. You don't need a super big one. I'd say about 2 inches long. It's fine. Because again, we are not going to put a whole bunch. We probably just want to get 2 reps of rabbit fur out of this dubbing loop. And again, you want that right where that marabou starts. So we don't lose our progress. Gonna hit it with a whip finish real quick. Just 1, 2. Boom. Swing in our thread holder. And then get ourselves a piece of rabbit zonker. Now, for this, because I only want a little bit, I don't want a whole crazy bunch, because again, I'm only getting 2 wraps out of it. That's all it needs. It's just for an extra little flair. Could throw some different color in there if you wanted for more pop. I trim off maybe a 1/2 of an inch of rabbit zonker strip. It's about all I need. And you want to try to keep this loop untwisted as much as possible when you go to put it in. That way it doesn't cause you a whole lot of problem. Because usually when they're twisted, you put that in, all of a sudden it'll start spinning and just be all crazy before you're even ready to cut the hair or cut the skin off of the zonker strip. And then just come in, trim that off. So you have just the hairs, like so, and then slowly start to spin that. That way the hairs don't jump out of the string or what have you. Once you get it kind of good and spun, you can kind of pick up the tempo at which you spin it. So that should be fine right there. And then grab that Velcro I was talking about. You can also use it here. Get that rabbit good and floofed. You can get trapped fibers. It's a good thing to have. And then what we're going to do, make sure you bring all the fibers back as you go, but we are going to wrap this around, making sure we catch as little fibers as we can. That way we're not hindering the poof. Thing about this tool is I can just let go, move the arm out of the way, bring this back, swing it around, catch that thread, add a couple wraps in front. Boom. And we're going to get this dubbing tool out of there. Then what we do is wrap back on that zonker strip just a bit. Just to keep her kind of flared down and backwards. Like so. And then from there, I like to come forward, trap as much of that marabou as I can underneath, and add a nice thread base of whatever color you're going for, whatever thread thread you're using. Doesn't have to be too even. You just want to hide that silver, or at least majority of it, because once we come back up with the yarn, it'll do a lot of the hiding. And then from here, it's just X-wrapping in some yarn. This is pretty easy. So what I did was an X-wrap on top loosely, and then took the arms here of the yarn and pulled it back and forth, and the X falls more uniformly when you do that. Then you can position it better and come in with some more securing wraps. And then you just follow that step for the rest of the yarn. For me, I like to put 5 pieces. That way it's not super difficult to get these in there nice, make it look clean. Still gives it the body shape that I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just try to get it as neat as you can. As long as it catches fish, what does it really matter, right? Like, that's what we're here to do. That's why we tie these. And again, it's just a simple X-wrap, taking your time to get it positioned on top of the hook, and then taking your time to move the yarn into the position that you want it as you wrap it down. Just take your time. There's no need to try and do this as fast as you can. And if you are trying to do it as fast as you can, who are you trying to race? But if so, you're the only person at that starting line that I know of. Because this is not something that you rush through. Now, some patterns are easier to tie and quicker to do, but some of them, even though you can be quicker at them, you want to take your time. Make that pattern look as good as it can. Especially when it's a simple pattern like this. Like, boom. Let me find my little bead chain eye that I had cut off. What is it? Did I cut a new one? Okay. Don't know what that one. Where's my pliers? So, for me, cut off that little tagging that sticks out. Pull it taut. And cut off an eye section. And then, with the same way you added the yarn, you add the eye. Couple cross wraps, either direction. The only difference between these and the yarn is with this, you're going to come after you do the X wraps, do circle wraps underneath the eye. What that'll do is that'll tighten those thread wraps, those X wraps, under the eye, securing the eye a little bit more. And me, I like to whip finish behind the eyes, rather than the eye of the hook. So I whip finish behind the dumbbell eyes rather than the eye of the hook, just because it's a lot more room, easier to do than trying to cram it in between the bead chain eyes and the eye of the hook. So once you put finish that, come in, snip your line. Now, if you look from the side, or the top I should say, you got this big old ugly fan of a thing. Now, easiest way to do this, just hold it sideways, pull them up, cut at an angle. Try to follow the angle of the eyes. And same for this side. This one. Try to get it even. It's not. It's okay. See that right here. If you gotta come back and doctor it up a bit, it's fine. It's gonna catch fish no matter what. And then Velcro that yarn to get it to really flare out. And that is the Tarpon Toad. Very simple fly, easy to tie. Tie one up, go catch something on it, get at it. So, to tell you a little bit more about the Tarpon Toad, it supposedly has evolved from a bonefish fly. I I haven't been able to find out exactly which bonefish fly that is. But that would be pretty cool. Find out what fly it evolved from to become this, and then tie that up. That would be really cool. Something I am going to be trying to do. But it also works really well. I know it works really well because I've used it. And there's a really good tarpon angler, Andy Mill. He's actually like really big known. He actually gives this fly like a lot of praise, especially going after tarpon because that's what he normally goes after. He gives this one basically a thumb of approval. So that is just a bit of a little bit more backstory, at least from what I can find, of the Tarpon Toad.